Welcome to another video with me, Elmo J. Karjalainen. You can call me this guy if my surname is tricky to pronounce. It's good to have you along. Today I'm taking a second look and giving a final verdict on the Boss Nextone. So I'll be right back after this intro. Okay, so like I said, today I'm taking a second look at the Boss Nextone, and I've been spending a bit more time with this now. I did a review a while back. You can find the link in the description, which was basically my first time playing with this amp. Now, I've also done a comparison between this and the Boss Katana. I'm not sure in which order I'll be releasing those, but anyway, I've gotten to know this amp a bit better, and I've thought a bit about the pros and cons, and giving you a kind of bit more informed opinion, as it were. So before I say too much, I'll just go through a few sounds, go from clean to crunch, and then with an overdrive pedal, and then with the overdrive from the amp. So here goes. So here's clean. So, going over to a bit crunchier tones. Or something like that. And here it is with an overdrive pedal, which is the Fender Yngwie Malmsteen Overdrive. So it takes pedals, which is quite nice. Okay, so let's go for a bit more gain from the amp. So as you can hear, it's making a bit of noise now. Whoops. Okay, so those are the sounds. Now, I won't play anymore on this because basically that's what you get. You get a delay, which I was using the amp delay. You get a reverb, and that's it. The delay sounds fine, the reverb's okay, and that's nice. You can change which power amp valves it's mimicking, but that doesn't do basically any difference. So I think I was using 6L6 now, but it could be any one. I honestly, I don't hear a huge difference. So this is, I think it was 6L6. I'll just check. Sorry, 6V6, but I'll flip through those. I'll play a note and flip through those. Very, very, very similar indeed. There's a tiny difference there, But hey, nothing, I mean, almost nothing. So, that's the Boss Nextone. It sounds okay. Um, Now, the speaker is crap, so you get a much better sound if you connect it to an external speaker. I've tried it with this 4x12 Marshall, and it sounds much better. But here's the problem with the amp, and I think this is a big problem. It costs over 500 euros, which is a bit more in dollars, 650, sorry, 550, maybe closer to 600, I'm not entirely sure. And that's a bit of money for a solid state amp that does, well, a couple of things, and it's supposed to mimic different power amp tubes or valves, and it really doesn't. I think it's just 4 different positions on a switch, and they all sound pretty much alike. Now, so if you want really better sounds from this, you have to swap the speaker. And I'm not going to do that because I can't honestly be bothered. So that's an investment in and of itself. And that means that you're starting to run into the kind of territory where why don't you just get a proper valve amp or a tube amp, depending on if you're American or British. So you can get a proper valve amp for that kind of money, second hand maybe. Okay, you might need a couple of pedals and you might be spending a bit more, but you'll be getting a better thing. Now, I'm pretty sure that the value of these will come down fairly quickly. So if you buy one new, you won't be able to sell it for the same amount of money, which is different when you buy a valve amp. You can sell that for, it doesn't drop in value as much as solid state amps usually do. So that's one thing to take into consideration. The speaker is a bit dodgy. So, personally, I'm not a big fan of this. I just don't get why you would buy one of these, except if you're reviewing them, like I did. Now, it does have a line out, it does have an effects loop, it does have a USB out. You can tweak it with an app, or I'm not sure if it's a program on your laptop or an app. I couldn't care less because I don't want to tweak amps with an app or with software. I hate that stuff. I want to be able to tweak the amp with the amp. So it has knobs. That's why it has knobs. Yeah, I'm personally, if you like the sound of this, by all means get one. But I'm not sure you're getting your money's worth. That's kind of my final opinion of this amp. So that's kind of it. If you want a good overdriven sound, this amp doesn't really do it. You can use a pedal to get a good overdriven sound, but then you need to get a pedal. You can get a cheap pedal, and there are a few out there, like the Mosky D250 is one very cheap one, which does the Yngwie Malmsteen thing. And there are loads of others, but still you need to get a pedal if you want a better overdrive sound than this has. I don't like the overdrive sound on this one. Yeah, so that's basically it. I'm saying get something else, or get something cheaper. You can get a Boss Katana. I don't like that one either, but at least you're saving a ton of money. Or you can get a Roland Cube. The 80-watt version going second hand is, I think, somewhere between 300 and 400 euros. And I think it's way better than this, especially if you get the one with the Celestion speaker. I think the newer one has a Celestion speaker in it. And it does more things than this, and it does all of the things at least as well as this, if not better. And the overdriven sounds especially are way better than on this. So I'm not entirely sure who this is for. That's kind of my final verdict. It's certainly not for me. Maybe it is for you. Good thing if it is. Not for me. I'd rather save my money and get something else. You can even get an Axe-FX standard for roughly that kind of money, although you would need power amps and all that for that. But still, an Axe-FX standard is quite a good piece of gear. You can get those secondhand. I saw one in Finland going for 600 euros now, which is just 100 euros more than this, and you could probably bargain it down to roughly this price, especially if you have to change speakers on this. So that's all I have for you today. Save your money and get something else. That's That's my advice. I'm not a big fan of this. And next I'm going to try to sell this one, but I'll sell it cheaper because it's second hand and no one will buy it for the retail price. Anyway, that's all I have for you. I hope you liked the video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Give it a thumbs down if you didn't. Yeah, comment. Let me know if you have any experiences with this. If you like it, if you dislike it, or if you know of something that's roughly in the same price range, but way much better. Please let me know in the comments. And subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that little bell notification thing and support me on Patreon, because I buy the gear that I review, so I don't have to sit here and say, hey, this is a great piece of gear, and have to come up with all kinds of monkey ass ways to try to prove to you that it is great. It's not great, it's not bad, but I'm not sure it's worth the money. That's my honest review and my kind of final verdict after having a bit of a go with this for a while now. So, I hope to see you in another one, and take care. In the meantime, I won't end by playing on this because basically I've had enough of it. Take care. Goodbye.